On this episode of Hornet News Now, we go behind the scenes of the new basketball live stream.
Plus the latest on FCCLA qualifying for the state competition.
Later in the show, our teacher and student spotlight interviews and a full recap on Athletic Signing Day.
All of that and more on this episode of Hornet News Now. Welcome to this week's episode of Hornet News Now. I'm Kylie Evans.
And I'm Ariel Kirkley. In an effort to prevent the spread of COVID-19 at our schools, the district is asking that students and parents keep them updated.
If you've tested positive or been in close contact with someone outside of school, reach out to the district point of contact at bryantpointofcontact@bryantschools.org.
Be sure to check the district website often to stay informed on the latest COVID-19 information and mask status.
The Congressional Youth Cabinet is a nonpartisan program that gives students insight and experience in the legislative process.
Students submitted applications to participate, and 62 Arkansas high school students were chosen for the cabinet.
Out of those 62, 7 Bryant students are a part of the group. These students are Brooklyn Prince, Emily Whitaker, Jasmine Kearney, Jenna Wall,
Kate Jones, Madison Bay, and Sabion Murray. Congratulations on the honor. Time is running out to buy your yearbook. The deadline to personalize your book has passed, but you can still purchase one. The cost is $60, so take advantage of this because the price will continue to increase.
The Hornet Media program is bringing you an all-new angle to this year's basketball coverage. With more on the new and improved live stream, here's Hornet Media reporter Eli Hill.
With the new semester among us, new sports are getting ready for their season to kick off. While last year there wasn't a consistent way for people at home to watch Bryant basketball, thanks to a few students at our Hornet Media sports production team, we've been able to get consistent live streams of our home games. But thanks to student director Antarian Smith, things have been going at a good pace.
I'm gonna be honest, you see, I was the best at the director's spot. I was the best.
While Hornet Media had help with football games from M&M Productions, this time they're all on their own, and Antarian admits that there are some difficulties.
Probably like the timing. Like after a 3-point, you gotta play like a certain like ad sound. So you gotta like find that and then play it. You gotta be like really attentive. Cause like, you know, anything, a highlight can happen at any time. Like so you gotta try to get a replay pretty quickly.
You can check out the archive of our games at our YouTube channel, Bryant High School Hornet Media. For Hornet News Now, I'm Eli Hill.
Thanks, Eli. We will have more about basketball later in the show in sports. The Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America students have qualified for this year's state competition. With more, here's Hornet Media reporter Nevaeh Robinson.
The FCCLA club competed in December at the University of Arkansas Richmond with service projects, leadership projects, and career investigation. As a result of that event, the team just found out that all 8 Bryant teams qualified for state. Senior and Vice President of Events Lawson Bowie explains how they qualified for state.
Specific score we had to get, and so we did star events, and so they planned like a star event, and they would go. So STAR event stands for Students Taking Action with Recognition, and so they had to perform a task, and they just had to really go above and beyond.
Vice President of Personal Finance Andrew Schroeder details the ranking systems.
So there's different rankings. What you get is you get gold, which is 100 to 90, silver, which is 80 to 70, and then 70 below is a bronze. And what we had to do was we had to be the top 2 teams, and we were first place overall, but we got a silver ranking.
Of the schools at the competition, Bryant had the most that qualified for state. The state competition takes place March 29th. For Hornet News Now, I'm Nevaeh Robinson.
Thanks for that report, Nevaeh. Last school year, many of the norms around campus had to be adjusted due to COVID procedures. This includes changes in the library. Portugal Diaz checks in on the first floor to see what services are available in the library this year.
The main thing I want to say that I almost forgot is that we are open. We're an open library.
That's right, and the library offers a lot of uses for students. Last year, the library was restricted away from students for the majority of the year due to COVID.
Students can come and browse the bookshelves. I realized they couldn't do that last year.
The library can help you make another ID, change your password, sell you a new iPad charger, and offers a quiet place for students to study.
We want you to know that we're open, we're willing to help students in any way.
For the Bryant Buzz, I'm Portugal Diaz.
Before the break, a reminder that Miss Black has a scholarship available for Bryant students.
For more information, you can pick up a packet available in the counselor's office. When we come back, our student and teacher spotlights.
Stay with us, you're watching Hornet News Now.
Hi, I'm Carson Clay, and I was tasked with making a commercial for the Hornet Corner. What is that? Let's find out. Wow.
Welcome back to Hornet News Now. I'm Ariel Kirkley.
And I'm Kylie Evans. Our student and teacher spotlight segments return this week.
First, our student spotlight. Here's Hornet Media reporter Liam Babbitt.
In past shows, Hornet Media has dove into the successes of Bryant's fine arts with stories on the band and choir. Now the medium of visual arts is on center stage with this week's student spotlight, art student Owen Lee.
I like to express my emotions through my art, and right now I'm doing things with fish, and I'm kind of using those to express my emotions through them.
AP Studio Design sees Lee and other students presenting themselves in artworks in a sustained investigation. These portfolios vary from student to student as to what speaks to them.
We're making a portfolio based around a certain theme that we come up with. Some people do, like with me, I'm doing stuff that relates to my own emotions. I did that last year. Some people do more broader themes, like things relating to race or like sexuality. That kind of stuff.
Although he sees high levels of progression in the class in his senior year, Lee recounts the struggles faced in his first introductions to art. He gives the credit of his found talents to the guidance and tutelage of art teacher Amber Cardinale.
Ms. Cardinale is amazing. She's helped me so much and honestly built my confidence with my art.
Owen's accomplishments in art are juggled with academics and being a prominent member of the Bryant track and field team. His oceanic portfolio will finish in the coming months and be evaluated by AP readers. For H&N, I'm Liam Babbitt.
Thanks, Liam. A lot of students appreciate the teacher we have for Teacher Spotlight this week. With the feature, here's Hornet Media reporter Carson Hobson.
This week's Teacher Spotlight is Mr. Bagwell. He's taught for 6 years and is well known for his involvement in Beta Club, something that he brought to Bryant his first year here.
Beta Club is a community service-based, academic-based organization where we do a lot of fundraising, charity work, community service. And I got involved with it because I was in it in high school. So when I became a teacher, I said, hey, let me be the sponsor of the club because we didn't have it here when I got hired here.
Mr. Bagwell teaches sophomores in AP World plus juniors and seniors in AP Human Geography.
As sophomores, they're usually a little more immature sometimes, don't have as much structure and know about the routine at the beginning of the year of homework and essays, but typically if they sign up again and take Human Geo, they're more aware of the routine that they have to be in.
As the oldest child, Mr. Bagwell spent a lot of time helping his younger siblings, giving him the confidence to become a teacher.
I was the oldest of all of my siblings, and I always felt like I was teaching them everything growing up, and I just became good at it, I felt at least, and so I chose to follow that path.
If you see Mr. Bagwell around campus, make sure to congratulate him, as he recently announced he and his wife are having a baby boy, due in June. For Hornet News Now, I'm Carson Hobson.
Now that February is here, various clubs and programs are preparing for upcoming competitions and performances.
Here's Carly Tucker with what's trending this week.
Thanks, Ariel. The esports team is practicing after school for its first competition of the season. In case you missed it, on last month's Bryant Buzz, Portugal Diaz featured the League of Legends team. Plus, cast members of the spring musical recently started rehearsal for Shrek. Roughly 40 people are involved in the production. Carson Clay is playing a role of Shrek. You can see Shrek in person beginning March 3rd through the 5th. Hornet Media reporter Eli Hill will have much more on the upcoming performance when he features the theater department during the February episode of the Bryant Buzz. Also, it was announced this week that 14 Bryant students were selected for All-State Choir. You can find the full list on the Bryant Choir Facebook page. That's this week's What's Trending for Hornet News Now. I'm Carly Tucker.
Thanks, Carly. Now it's time for sports. In the studio with us, here's Nick Scavio.
Thanks, Ariel and Kylie. It's been a big week on campus. That's right, both the boys and the girls basketball team took on Fort Smith and Northside at Hornet Arena. On Tuesday night, let's take a look at some of the highlights.
First, a look at the highlights from the girls' game. Natalie Edmondson starts the game off with a three-pointer. Later, Paris Atkins with a first quarter three-pointer. She would finish the game with 16 points. In the second half, Brylan Finley, a huge steal and a layup the other way. Then Finley on a step-back three. She ended with 15 points in this one. Then Atkins with a crossover dribble in a basket. The Lady Hornets win 49-44. In the boys' game, Drake Fowler registered a block shot early on, followed by a three on offense. Darren Wallace had a big game for the Hornets as he scored 17 points. Gabe George from the inside arc hits the basket, then later in the second half, George connects again, this time from three-point range. He finished with 16 points. And to finish off the game, Kaysen Robbins with a big-time dunk, he finished with 18 points as Bryant beats Northside 54-52.
This past week was also National Signing Day. With more, here's Sydney Morgan.
A total of 11 Bryant athletes signed their national letter of intent to continue their athletic career in college. 4 football players signed last week. Robert Hendricks signed with Arkansas Baptist, Brandon Jones at Arkansas Tech, Brooks Edmondson with Arkansas, and Will Diggins with UCA.
The opportunity to get a chance to start as a true freshman, put some good film out there, and hopefully get to the next level.
Girls basketball player Paris Atkins also signed to play at UCA. From baseball, Connor Martin, Kobe Morrow, and Turner Steedlinger signed with Crowder Community College. Logan White with Southern Arkansas, and Cade Ruffner with Purdue. Plus, Cade Bowie will compete in trap shooting next year at William Penn. For Hornet News Now, I'm Sydney Morgan.
Thanks, Sydney. That's a look at sports. Now, on to the weather with Landon Boyd.
Thanks, Nick. Now that the worst of winter storm is behind us, let's take a look at the 3-day forecast for this week. Starting off with Wednesday, we see sunny skies with a high of 66 and a low of 35. On Thursday, it will be cloudy with a high of 60 and a low of 34. Lastly, Friday will be generally sunny with a high of 67 and a low of 42. Now for this week's weather joke. Why did Mickey Mouse get hit with a snowball? Because Donald ducked. That's been this week's weather. Back to you, Ariel and Kylie.
That's our show for this week. You can keep up to date with the Hornet Media program by following us online.
On our YouTube channel at Bryant High School Hornet Media and on Instagram at Hornet News Now.
Plus check out the What's Happening Hornets podcast on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Thanks for watching. I'm Kylie Evans.
And I'm Ariel Kirkley. Have a great day, everybody.